Greetings, this is Joelle, the Viberarian. I am here to elevate, enlighten, and empower. I wanted to come on today to just share with you some guidance that I received over the weekend. It was truly a beautiful experience, and so I thought that if it resonated for me in this now moment, that there might be others who are aligned with my frequency who might receive something helpful from it as well. So, on Saturday, I went to this wonderful event, an open heart encounter with love. It was facilitated by Dr. Tracy J. It was a workshop. There were a group of us gathered for about 3 hours on Saturday. It was really a wonderful event. Dr. Tracy has been on the Viberarian show and also the Psychic Inside show, sharing about her life journey and how she came to develop this method of approaching healing. And I was really excited to attend this workshop. It was sponsored by, also in partnership with a company called New Digi Tech, which they are out here trying to make sure that people who need technology interfaces are able to have access to those. So, I mean, it's a wonderful little collaboration. So I was really excited to be able to be a part of it. And I received this beautiful rose quartz crystal as a member of, the class. We were all given an opportunity to receive a piece of unconditional love to go. So I love rose quartz. I was super happy about that. But things were just really going well. And then I was leaving and on my way to get a bite to eat after the workshop. And I wound up getting into a fender bender in downtown Atlanta. So it was my fault. I actually rear-ended someone. So it was a bit of a challenge to the later part of the day. And so I was really trying to hold space for the fact that at all times, the best and highest good is coming into my reality for me. And so that despite the outward appearance, this had to be something that would end up being that all is well, So I was kind of like going through that. I was very fortunate to have friends and family around me to be able to help come pick me up and see that I was okay. As you know, downtown Atlanta is kind of crazy on the weekend, and it was really an active kind of time. So I decided to do a reading that night because I just really felt like there was a need for me to connect. I connect very strongly with the divine feminine and receive guidances and messages through that avenue. And one of the divination tools that I have is this beautiful Mother Mary Oracle deck by Alana Fairchild. And I just really love the messages so much in this book that I received the channel guidance that Alana basically brought through in her cards in her Oracle deck book. But it was just like one message after another continued to like really resonate. So I just want to share these with you. I'll just be sharing the guidance from this book. This is again the Mother Mary Oracle. And so the first card that came out was just beautiful. Our Lady of Soul Birth. And this is number 5. Now, as we know, 5 is about change. And so this energy right now, as we're moving into spring and the environment around us is changing, the leaves and things are sprouting, we're kind of getting ready to bloom and blossom. I just loved the yellow, and when I receive this card, I'm always uplifted. It also speaks to me very much of like Oshun energy with the yellow colors, and beautiful with the red roses. But so Our Lady of Soul Birth as number 5, which talks about change. Okay. There's a small portion of channeled message before the content comes in with each of these descriptions. You and I have never been separated, though you may fear it to be so, my beloved one. Yet as you grow, I grow. As you suffer, I suffer. As you celebrate, I celebrate. When you rage and grieve, so too do I rage and grieve. Your journey upon this planet is held within my loving embrace and is my journey too. I am with you always. We cannot be parted. I accept all parts of you and all parts of your journey. There is nothing to hide from me, for I am in your life with you. When you reject parts of yourself, you reject me. When you love yourself, you love me. Love me, dear one. Love yourself, and your radiant soul grows into life, into light upon the earth. The journey of the soul is a gritty one. It entails encounters with realms of light, with pure love and heavenly rapture. It also entails encounters with negativity, fear, doubt, shame, guilt, grief, anger, and suffering. Such is the mysterious experience of being a divine human in the making. We encounter bliss and despair in order to become whole. It is through our wholeness that we are capable of allowing the divine presence to manifest through us as it wishes to, according to a higher plan. The more open we are to life with acceptance, especially when we don't understand it, the more we can allow our soul to lead us through life into our divine destiny. When our soul leads us, we avoid the obstacles created by our mind. With the mind's tendencies to reject and judge, we would inhibit the flowing assistance of our soul. The Heavenly Mother wants your soul to blossom, understanding that it is the lotus flower that is fed by mud, and that this is just the nature of being a divine, soulful human. The mother is not interested in perfection, she is interested in love. That is her way. She knows that the dark and the light are in sacred play upon the earth, and that the divine presence is in all things. It is not only within the light, but also even within the greatest darkness, though it may seem harder to find there. She understands that to grow and blossom, the soul needs honesty more than it needs pleasantness. She understands that we need the light of joy and also the darkness of anger, rage, grief, and sadness, channeled into healing consciousness so that we can grow and become all that we can possibly be. She understands that becoming a divinely awakened human being is a raw, wild, and beautiful path, often with great suffering, and she feels great compassion. So she empowers us, through her wisdom, to take the journey with a fearless faith in her divine protection and guidance when we are in need. The mother wants to experience her divine children as succeeding in their spiritual destiny. This requires an acceptance even of the emotions that may not seem spiritual at first, and of the life experiences that seem to be challenging and take us into darker, unknown territory. When we understand that the divine is in all experiences, and we draw to us what we need when we need it, and that the Divine Mother protects us whenever we call upon her, we can trust. We might not always understand, but we can still choose to trust. Through understanding her teachings of the necessity of light and dark for the heart to become truly powerful, we can accept ourselves and our lives more readily, and in doing so, our soul begins to open up. Our heart becomes powerful. When we can learn to love more completely, starting with ourselves, we become capable of being instruments for her love in the world in other ways. Through our relationships, our passions and interests, our chosen professions, and how we live from day to day. When the soul is allowed to live rather than the mind trying to squash it down and only allow the logical, understandable parts to see the light of day, miracles can occur. As the heart opens to life without restraint, the miraculous love of the mother can flow through us. We become instruments of her grace. This oracle comes with a special message for you. Somewhere in your life, in your relationships, or within yourself, you have been holding back. You have been doing so because you were worried that what wanted to come out was not acceptable or that you would be shamed. Mother Mary tells you that she loves you and wants you to blossom. Don't try to stop the flow of love. Allow yourself to take the steps forward that you have been questioning. Don't be afraid, beloved. There is only your great connection to the Holy Mother to discover and your own soul to grow. The Holy Mother is within you, is within your soul that longs for divine fulfillment. You have her permission to discover and be yourself completely and freely. Do not hide yourself away, even from the darkness. There is nothing to fear. There is only love that is growing. Now, each of these chapters has a healing process and affirmation that you can do. I think they're very wonderful tools, and I recommend that you have a deck like this to use. What's so interesting is that in our workshop, we were looking at the areas within ourselves where we have been blocking the full manifestation of love. And in having that conversation as to what issues might be arising for us, it was interesting because out of our group of people, several people wound up having the same issues. And we found there was a commonness where we all could really relate to having an area where we might have grief that we still needed to process, anger or disappointment, fear. I mean, it was worthiness. I mean, we were having this wonderful conversation. And so, for this card to come out, it immediately arrested my heart. As Dr. Tracy likes to say, your heart will arrest you when there's something it wants for you to know about yourself. So it certainly arrested my energy to talk about, through the challenges and moving into standing within your truth. So the next card that came out was Our Lady of the Whispering Heart. So, of course, the tears welled to my eyes immediately because it was all about letting your heart communicate with you to show you areas where there's healing that can be done. So the Whispering Heart had been the whole day, basically, up until the workshop was over. Okay. I want to be close to you, my cherished child, so I dwell within your heart. From that sacred place, I speak to you daily. Can you feel my presence? I am the voice within that assures you all is well. I am the feeling in your heart that tells you it is all right to trust, no matter what appears to be. I am the knowing in your heart that every prayer you speak is heard and answered by me instantly. I am the joy and relief in your heart as you realize that your answered prayers are already unfolding in divine perfection. Listen for me and know peace within. The clearest guidance is not always the loudest voice. Sometimes fear and doubt yell where love and trust speak quietly but consistently from deep within the heart. You are being asked to trust in the truths of your heart, even if they seem quieter than voices of fear from within you or coming from those around you. The truths of the heart cut through emotional reactions and mental anguish. The heart simply speaks of what is without distortion. When we hear the heart speak, we know in our bones that what is spoken of is true. Hearing the heart truth may necessitate an action that we would rather not take. Perhaps we need to wait for more of the picture to become clear to us, for a way forward to be shown, when we would dearly just love to act and have the whole situation over and done with. Or perhaps the time for action has come and we can see the invitation to move forward opening up. To accept that invitation may require a deeply saddening goodbye, a great loss, or a temporary loneliness, even whilst we may sense the wonder and happiness of that which calls us to move on. Our Lady of the Whispering Heart speaks to us of courage, of trust, and inner knowing. She tells us to trust our inner truths above and beyond any opinion of any other. You will know deep within what needs to happen and when. The details are held in the loving genius of the Divine Mother and revealed through your heart in the perfect way and at the perfect time. All you need to do is listen and apply with patience and trust the wisdom that is felt from within. If you are finding it hard to hear that wisdom, the Divine Mother says this to you. What would your heart say if it was completely free from fear? This oracle also speaks of an important message that is coming to you now or will very soon. This message is either an answer to a prayer already uttered or an answer to a question you didn't even know that you held within. Pay attention to your heart using the following healing process and affirmation to help connect with this important guidance within. Your world is changing, beloved. You have all the guiding light that you need for this change to be a healing one, even if some sadness is a necessary rite of passage into your greater emerging happiness. Have faith. The Mother is with you, guiding you through your heart always. This oracle has come to remind you of this and to let you know that now, in particular, she is whispering to you and that what you feel in your heart is truth. So beautiful. The next card was Our Lady with the Moon at her feet. I absolutely love this. It reminds me of the High Priestess card in the tarot. I think the imagery is just gorgeous. The roses, the tree, and the heart. Our Lady with the Moon at her feet. This is card number 36, which is 9, which is looking to the end of a cycle or phase. I have heard your heart prayers. I have heard you calling to me silently in suffering, wanting to let go and grow, and finding that despite all your effort, still you must endure. It is as if you are sinking when you want to rise, falling when you want to fly. I come to you now with the moon at my feet and ask you to put your trust in me. I will help you outgrow that which no longer serves, so that what you struggle to attain now through effort in time will come naturally to you. Have faith. What you want is possible, and I will help you get there. The power of habitual consciousness is mighty indeed. Even if we know we want to change, and even if we have taken practical steps to change, the challenge of sustaining ourselves in a new way without falling back into old emotional and psychological patterns can be extremely difficult. This is especially so if what you are seeking to change has been part of your core wounding this lifetime, becoming a habit that seems impossible to break, no matter how much you may want to do so. There is a force of gravity that works upon us in this world, not only physically, but emotionally and psychologically as well. It is why, despite tremendous desire and effort, change can be difficult most times, and sometimes even impossible at other times. To be able to grow in life requires that we be able to intelligently respond to the challenges that are a natural part of being human. Sometimes those challenges will be self-created and we will want to let them go. These might include coping mechanisms that aren't really helpful for us, such as addictions or shutting people out and withdrawing into a solitude of suffering, or dissociating through compulsive behaviors that undermine our self-esteem and emotional and even financial well-being. Sometimes the challenges will be circumstances imposed upon us by time or by others, and we cannot control that situation and need to find a way not only to bear it, but perhaps even, if we are feeling bold, to transform it from something negative or frustrating into an opportunity to do things differently and feel more freedom. What is needed for transformation, for healthy growth, is strength, patience, and an ability to respond intelligently to life's challenges with a view to making them work for your own personal growth. However, sometimes all of this is just not enough. Sometimes we move this way and that. We wait, we apply ourselves, we take practical steps, and still, despite our best intentions, we may feel ourselves sliding backwards into old habits, old patterns of thinking or being, old emotional patterns. We might not even see them as patterns. We might instead just think that it is the way life is and there is nothing we can do about it. But this is not true at all. In such instances, what is needed is the loving intervention and assistance of a being that is more powerful than the gravity that we are unable to counter through our efforts alone. There is no shame in this. In fact, there is wisdom in recognizing when help is needed and accepting it. Like a growing plant that needs a trellis and it has stabilized itself, so too do we humans need divine support at times along our path as we are mastering new levels of consciousness, new habits, new ways of being. If it was easy, everyone would be living exactly as they wanted to be living without any struggle. Clearly, this is not happening in the world as often as we may wish. The Divine Mother will help us move through our struggles, if only we allow her to do so. Her being, her love, is more powerful than our greatest forces of habitual consciousness and behavior. The miracles of her healing can transform even the most stubborn pessimist into an active optimist. Our Lady with the moon at her feet comes to us when we are attempting to outgrow, through inspiration, hope, love, bold spiritual daring, or big dreams, that which seems to be holding us back or impossible to change. She tells us that, through her intervention, we can find the support that we need as we face the challenges of growth, and she will lend us her power to be able to reach for that star, which, without her, would perhaps be somewhat beyond our reach, for now at least. She also tells us that if we are feeling boxed in or diverted from our higher purpose in life, she will help us. She asks us to pray to her and to know that what is now is not what must always be. Transformation and healing is possible, but you must trust her. You must place more faith in her than in what appears to be an insolvable or recurring difficulty. This oracle is a wild card in the deck in that it empowers and strengthens any other message that you receive. If you receive this card on its own, it is enough. But if you choose another card as well, this card asks you to pay extra special attention to the guidance in the other card you chose. There is a healing process as well included with this one. And of course, in the way that I always draw, I always look at the bottom of the deck. And so the final message that was received, again, beautiful. Our Lady of Growth Assured. And this is a 30, which is 3 is a beautiful holy number of balance in mind, body, and soul. Masculine, feminine, and in unity. Beautiful. There is a beautiful manifestation which you have long desired coming to fruition now. It is important to the well-being of your own soul and the healing of our world that you have patience and allow this birth to happen at the best timing. If it happens too soon or too late, there will be unnecessary complications. I will take care of the timing, and as you trust me, you will find the birth of your dream happens naturally and with great joy. There is something that you are considering embarking upon, either a new project or taking a chance on a new interest or social connection or even a new philosophy. Perhaps it is a letting go that will lead to a new start. The oracle of Our Lady of Growth Assured comes to tell you that your success is already determined in heaven. What needs to be now is your continued effort and prayer, surrender and patience on the physical plane, and most importantly, your positive expectation without any attachment as to how it will happen, that your situation is working out and will manifest perfectly. If we want to manifest something truly special in our lives, something that perhaps is a little out of the ordinary or contrary to what most people think is possible, then the blessing of Our Lady of Growth Assured is very helpful. To manifest, we start with the inspiration or impulse from our heavenly divine self. That translates into inspired ideas, then thoughts, and perhaps plans. As we add our heart and passionate energy to the mix, we generate the fire we need to eventually act on opportunities in the physical world so that our manifestation can be complete and successful. The more extraordinary our desired manifestation, the more it is likely to challenge mass beliefs or tip our world upside down, even in the most wonderful way, and the more likely it is that there will be delays or difficulties with our manifestation. That is because we will be bumping up against some powerful opposing forces. The negative expectations of the world can cause even the brightest spirit to slump from time to time, losing energy and forgetting to trust in the unconditional love and incredible power of the Divine Mother. So when this happens, our manifestation process might get a little bumpy, hitting some snags here and there. If we come back to our center using the healing process for this oracle, we speed up the process again, getting back on track. Our Lady of Growth Assured comes to tell us not to give up. She tells us to have patience and work on feeling open-hearted and open-minded about our manifestations and how they can come into being. We work on feeling the energy of what we want to create. So if it is abundance, for example, we work on cultivating that feeling of abundance as best we can, all the while remaining open to the manifestation of our intentions without attachment as to how, when, or what it will look like. She tells us not to turn away in fear of failure, especially as when this oracle comes to us, our manifestation is actually not far away at all. There is an expression that it is always darkest before the dawn. This is true with the manifestation process. Often, when all seems hopeless and signs of future life of our desires are apparently non-existent, it is the moment before the birth. We must keep our faith and not require that we see all in advance or even that we have proof along the way that something is happening. It can be hard to trust in such circumstances, but if it helps bring your dreams to life, then it is worth the effort. The oracle of Our Lady of Growth Assured brings you help in trusting in your process now and a message that your desires are coming to life. Trust and know in your heart that your growth is assured and that your dreams are manifesting at the perfect time and in the perfect way. The affirmation for this one, Our Lady of Growth Assured, is: my spiritual growth and heart's desire manifest in the perfect time and the perfect way, assured of success by the Divine Mother's grace. Well, thank you for sharing this message that was delivered with me. I am meditating on this week, and I'm so grateful for the messages that I receive in the moments when I need them most, to be reassured that, all that is happening is not outside of my journey into my divinity, and to know that I am ever loved and supported by so many beautiful, divine, and beloved energies from the Mother Mary, and it's just beautiful. So, wishing you all that you are touched by some aspect of this message. Namaste.